title, I'm gonna be explaining my absence, of course. Um, for those of you that don't know, let me check if it's really okay. Cool. Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna be explaining my absence, and after that, I'm gonna be heading straight to bed. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna be starting Warhog's Legacy game. So basically, my explanation on my absent was back in March. I'm gonna go way back in March because this will make sense. Way back in March of, was it the 13th? Hi. Um, Hold on. I think it was March something. Hold up. No, this was in March. Hold up. Yes. So March 13, I pretty much lost two rabbits, my two pets. They had passed away past 1 a.m. ish. So that kind of took a big toll out of me. It was completely unexpected death. It was just really random. They came out of the vet. They came out of the vet from February 13th, which is kind of interesting. How it was a month later. They had their vaccine shot. Like they were 100% healthy, but I guess there was some lying condition that the veterinary couldn't see. I guess I couldn't afford to go too deep into their health. I guess I don't know how to explain, but I mean, me, I have a low budget, so me spending a lot on rabbits was just not something I was thinking of. I thought they were healthy. I just wanted to check them up, see if they're good. And they were healthy, but they had some little issues with their eyes. They had an infection in their eyes, which they had told me everything was fine, nothing to worry about, but it was still, the back of my mind. And then they told me that Willow, which is one of my rabbits, a lion hand rabbit, they had told me that the eyes was completely swollen and stuff like that. So they just kind of told me to switch their food, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's easy peasy. Nope. On March 13, I was gone to my sister's birthday. I was literally gone all day, and I came home. By the time that I came home, it was like 9-ish, 10-ish. It was around that time. And by the time that it was past 1, I immediately be like, oh shit, I forgot to had feed them because I was gone all day. And then when I came home, it was like past 1 a.m. That's when my mind just kind of remembered, oh shit, gotta go feed them, whatever. So I did. I was in the middle of doing that, and I saw the two of them laying down on their side, and that's when I realized that their behavior was just really not there anymore. Yeah, it was really, really painful. So one of my actually, he was a good friend of mine. He was a good friend. He just kind of stayed on the call with me, overnight, and kind of kept me company because I was, grieving the loss of my two rabbits. And then I had a total freak out. I was crying for a long period of time. So, of course, I was in a grieving mode that I had lost two rabbits already. But then the next morning, my family did not know that I had lost two rabbits at 1 o'clock in the morning. So for them, they were like, oh shit, they didn't expect for me to lose two rabbits overnight, so they didn't know. And then I started to cry, and then I saw my other rabbit was, bouncing off, running around the house, and I was like, oh shit, like this one's still alive, so thank God. And we ran to the store, grabbed a bunch of hay, food, whatever it needs. I went crazy spoiling on this rabbit because it's just like, I just witnessed something really traumatic happen that night. So I was just processing the grief of my two rabbits, and then that's when March 23rd, Unfortunately, Shadow, which was the oldest out of all the rabbits that I had, she was just gonna turn 4 in about June or July, around that time. She was gonna turn 4. She also passed away. So I had lost 3 bad rabbits within a week, and that literally took a big toll out of me. That literally, like, emotionally lose interest of literally everything. Like, that's when I had dropped everything that I've ever liked, ever cared about, so I just dropped that. Um, so then, not all that actually happened. More to it actually did happen. I was also in a loss of a really good friend of mine. Um, I'm sure that some of you might realize by the tone of my voice from other Beat Saber videos. I'm pretty sure it was just really, like, slightly talking about it, but I was not fully talking about it. So I think I was just kind of like, I don't want to bring this on this channel. You know. So then, after that, well, one of my sort of good friends, now I'm realizing that, you know what, I'm kind of better off with certain people, so I'm pretty happy with that. Um, I was building up a server, it was called the Funhouse. He completely nuked it off, and I was extremely pissed off. But the reason behind it, it was like the most childish freaking thing ever. It was just over a freaking GIF, and it was just really, really dumb. Until this day, I literally think that his behavior was extremely freaking dumb over it. But anyways, he has a really bad behavior, and I had realized that he wasn't really a true friend to anybody at all. We at least we some of my good friends, we did kind of went over some stuff, like, you know, we kind of go back, we're like, oh yeah, we remember that he was acting like this on this date, and you know, and then we kind of realized that we were better off without this person, like 100%. That we realized that we were a lot happier without them. And I know it kind of sounds mean, but when you've been through so much drama and so much fighting with this particular friend, you kind of, like, when you lose them, it makes you realize that they were the problem, and, you know, they made you feel like you were the problem, but then once you lose them, it makes you feel like, oh, you weren't the problem, because you're a lot happier without them. So since that server had completely nuked, I ended up rebuilding it, but luckily someone had saved the template of it, and I ended up rebuilding the same server name. But then unfortunately it wasn't the same thing, so then I completely took it down. And then before I took it down, I literally rebuilt this new server called Love is Blind 18 plus. You have to be 18 years old to join it. Well, in a certain channels, anyways. So if it wasn't for the losing that friend, and that friend did not nuke the server that I was building, I would have not able to have 120 members. You hear that? I was so happy when my server went so well right after it was all nuked. I was just like, that is a massive blessing. Losing a friend and then this is going very well for me. It's a blessing, and I would not ever, like, I wouldn't go back to it. Wouldn't go back to it at all. So, anyways, and then this other situation that happened, honestly, they might not watch this channel, they might not even listen to this, obviously. They may have, well, they used to watch this channel, but not really. So, then again, after losing my 3 rabbits within a week, and then also supposedly losing a friend of mine, well, for like more than 3 years, now I'm kind of like, I'm not too worried about this person anymore. I think that they kind of did me a favor. Because the last thing they had told me is that they were free from me, but I honestly really think that they did me a favor. I was actually, like, more free from them. So that kind of took it as a blessing and a miracle, and it just, like, it was a life lesson, you know? Sometimes you gotta lose people to be happier, you know? Achieve goals and you never thought you would be able to. So then after that scenario, I end up kind of slowly falling in love with someone, and it was with the wrong person, and that's what kind of took the more grief into that situation. So I know some of you are gonna be like, oh my god, like why the fuck would you do this and this? It's just sometimes when there's certain things that is completely underneath your control. It's just like you just can't stop certain things. Sometimes when you try to do the right thing in the end, that's all that really matters. But I ended up falling in love with someone who had a partner, and the way that they were explaining the situation with the partner, they made it seem like they had broken up or something. Like they weren't together. Or they were in the middle of breaking up, or, planning on breaking up with them. They're not like really in a romantic relationship or wise. Like they were kind of like, that's the information that I was being told. So when someone automatically tells you that they weren't like in an active romantic relationship, or they weren't really working on working themselves out, like they're not working on, like they're just kind of like nah. Well, for you're kind of in that, you hear that type of stuff, and then you feel like, you can do better than this person that's treating them like shit. So you just kind of, fall in love with them. At first, it was not originally planned to fall in love with them. It just kind of grew. We were literally on calls. We were on phone call for like 24/7 for a couple of weeks. So that kind of feeling kind of grew, and we both had fallen in love. But then something just kind of magically turned around, and he decided to work things out with her. So then that kind of leads me into the breakup type of feeling, the grieving, losing friend breakup feeling, you just lost a friend again. But this time it was someone that you were in love with. So that kind of took upon of me. Unfortunately, I don't think they really watch this channel very much, or even like look at this, so they won't even know what I'm gonna be saying. But it took me. I think I took about 3 weeks away from them, and I had to realize a few things that when I was a teenager, where I was always the one who worked things out, always the one who begs for the attention from a guy, always asking, like you're the guy with the pants, if you know what I mean. So then I was that person, but when I was around this dude, I didn't have to really do much. Like, I can actually be myself without having to ask, without having to beg. It was just like, it was exactly how I wanted the relationship to be at, like for myself. And it was like, oh my god, like this is how I wanted it to be. There was no pressure, there was no rushing, there was no this, there was no that. And it was exactly what I needed. And I took 2 weeks away from him. I blocked him all over the place because it's like, you know what, you can't be in that situation anymore. It was wrong that you got caught up, and he also fell in love with me. So there's just two of us falling in love with each other while there was a girlfriend in the house. So we had to make a move. We had to be like, yo, you know what? Like, we love each other. That's cool. But we have to break this off. Like, we have to, for the sake of everybody and for the sake of ourselves. Like, we were both hurting each other, and this girl did not deserve or knew about anything about me. And I've been trying to get in contact with her to kind of like tell her, like, this is what's been going on. But I felt like it was deserved or like needed to do. I managed to contact his parents exactly because I felt like I needed to like come out and be like, hey, I exist here, like I'm in pain. So anyways, after that, well, I contacted him about 3 weeks later, and I really didn't like his attitude. I tried to just be friends with him and stuff like that, but it wasn't working out. And honestly, there's like this split little part that I have to tell you that he does not know. He's probably never gonna know. But when I literally told him I was fine, when I messaged him, when I first contacted him, it was only freshly new that I had realized that, oh my god, like, this is what I needed, and it was nothing about to do with him, and that's everything to do with me. And I literally told him that I was fine. But then it turns out I wasn't fine. It's almost like a realization was happening. It was almost like a big wave hit me in the face. No, you're not fine. You think you're fine, but you're not. And I literally told him that there was really no point of us being friends because he was not messaging me and I was trying my hardest, but he was not making a zero effort. So for me, it was like, you know what? I have to leave. It was the final, it was final. So I completely removed him off my life, and yeah, he still doesn't know that I'm not fine, but he thinks I'm fine, but I completely lied to him in his face because I literally felt like he doesn't need to know what's going on. He doesn't know that I'm still in pain. I don't want him to know. So until this day, until this very present day, this is where today is happening. So yeah, today I am actually excellently fine now. I feel like I'm fine, I guess. But yesterday I wanted to come on here and I wanted to play a game yesterday. And I realized that my living room or my area was really messy. So I had to clean that up. And let me tell you, it took me a few freaking hours. It took me a few hours for me to clean this area. And by the time that I was done, I was burnt out. I was completely burnt out. Like, I was just like, ugh, now I don't feel like playing anymore. Because all I was doing is cleaning up in here. And then today I wanted to play, but then I never had a chance to, so yeah. Now it's like, God, 12:37 a.m. in the morning. Now I'm deciding to go play a game. But yeah, that's pretty much all it. I hope that it wasn't too long to explain everything. For those of you who want to watch this, well, that's cool. Tomorrow I'm gonna be playing the Warriors game, Legacy. I'm gonna play again, and be my old self again. Cause oh shit, I need some berries. So yeah, it was just a really long time, and now I literally felt like I was losing myself a bit. All of that emotion was bottling up. But anyways, if you guys want to know the Discord of Love is Blind, that is where I'm mostly gonna be there, but that's where the server I'm gonna be in. I'm gonna post it in the community chat if you guys wanted. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna be. So anyways, I'll see you guys next time, and as always, be kind to each other, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in my brand new server, my brand new live video that is going to be the Warhammer Legacy. I'm going to be so freaking happy. I know it's been out for so long, but I never got around to it. Everyone keeps asking what game I play, but let's just fucking do it. Come on, let's do it. Anyways, please, love you. Goodbye.